I'm going to see a client in the next 1 hour as the Australian licensed mortgage broker and Australia's most followed TikTok mortgage broker, where I show you behind the scenes how I work out their borrowing power to their property goals. Let's go. That home loan dude. So just to give you context, it's the 26th of January 2024, and how these clients came about is they go through my TikTok, which has a ton of following and a ton of content people watch. So these guys have been binging on my content for the last 3 months, and they booked my 15-minute call, which is the most popular call. You know, I've got about 1,000 sessions booked last year in 2023. So they booked a call. So due to privacy reasons, I've extracted all the information onto my OneNote over here, and I'll describe to you what they are looking at doing. So you have a bit of context to see whether you can apply that to your own life, and whether you need to book a call, speak to a broker, not necessarily myself, anybody else, banker, or someone else that could give you clarity. So first of all, just as a premise to all this, if you look down below, like seriously, this is not financial advice. Do seek an independent, legal, financial, whatever it is that ends up that you have some due diligence done. So you don't come back and go, hey, I listened to the guy on YouTube or whatever podcast and on TikTok and give me the wrong advice. This is not financial advice. So first of all, as a premise, guys, these guys over here has given me consent to share this information over here. So I said, hey, are you okay if I share this on my social media? He's like, yep, as long as the names and stuff are blurred out. Yep, all blurred out, or not mentioning it. Thank you. I love these clients who book a call and really want to share the information. Some people don't want to share, which I do get maybe 40%, and I respect that. But for those who do share, kudos to you. So after a client books a 15-minute or 60-minute call with me, what I do is I get them to fill in a fact find, which is the form over here. And based on this fact find, I get to know what they want. So they wrote in their fact find, which I extracted to my OneNote over here, which is in the context of like, hey Q, we're exploring property changes and financial options. I'm currently looking in making some significant changes in my property portfolio. I presently own 2 properties, one in my name and another jointly with my family member. The plan is to sell both of these properties, okay? The first property is sold in my name and the second involves joint ownership. The funds from these sales will be used to acquire a smaller property for my family member and a new home for my partner, Mary. And I changed the name Mary because the person's not Mary, right, by the way, just for privacy reasons. And Mary obviously is this person's spouse to reside in. So my primary goal is to assess my current borrowing capacity and how it might change after selling both properties. Currently, I'm managing 2 mortgages while also covering the cost of the rent for the other current living arrangements. So really complex, which often I deal with a lot of these cases on a day-by-day basis. And I guess that's why people book these calls with me, because not to bag out the current industry, mortgage broking or bankers out there, is that the way I set up my system is it's a consult. So they come to me and unload. Whilst if you go to, for example, Google, or you walk into a franchise and speak to a mortgage broker, their mind is like, hey, is there a deal there, right? Talk to me. Oh yeah, what do you want? Blah, 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 blah. And don't waste my time, because I need to know whether I can do your mortgage so I can get commission out of you. Different setup here. I reverse the whole thing around. I do content. You come to me as a consult. There's no intention to sell the mortgage or, oh, am I going to get commission out of this? I'm here to help. And that's why I put a fee in the call, because it's absolutely about unlocking this problem for you and providing solutions. So hopefully that provides you context why I'm a bit different, a bit of a plug. But let's go back to the scenario. So it says here, the situation can be divided into 3 main phases. Ooh, very, very articulate client over here. And I love these type of clients. So the current scenario is where I own 2 properties and manage 2 mortgages. The desired outcome for this year involved the sale of both properties and downsizing for my family member. In the next hour, when I speak to this client, I'll be asking, who's his family member? Is it a mom, a dad, aunt, uncle? I don't know. And number 3, the post-purchase phase of the 4th and 5th property. Wow, this person, he or she, is thinking about the 4th or 5th property. So I'm guessing this is a very savvy property investor to be the chosen path. I'm seeking expert guidance. Well, you came to the right place to evaluate the practicality of this plan, especially considering the financial implications and potential adjustments to my borrowing capacity. Wow. So guys, yeah, who've watched thus far, I'm pretty stoked, as you can hear from my energy. I'm very passionate when I get these type of inquiries because I get to use my 15 years experience to see how I can help this person navigate their property portfolio journey. And just in context, I want to give you guys a peek behind the scenes of what I do before getting into the nitty gritty. Obviously, I have my notepad, which I'll draw out. Obviously, for you guys who are non-mortgage brokers or non-finance or property industry people, which is about 95% of people who watch this is first-home buyers or first-time investors, are like, Q, what the hell is this person talking about, right? I'm going to break it down here, so don't worry, guys. But just to give you context of what this person is sort of about is, I usually get them to fill in my Know Your Client form, called that client fact find. And, what are they looking to do? They're looking to refinance. So most obviously they have a property at the moment and a home loan, want to get a better rate. They want to purchase a new home. I don't think they're necessarily first home buyers. They're owner occupiers and probably want to get a better home. Maybe they own a home with one of their parents and don't want to live with, and the other spouse like, I don't want to really live in their freaking in-laws. That happens. It's human nature. And then this person just wants to get me to review the situation. They found me obviously on TikTok. Sometimes I have people going OnlyFans. I don't have OnlyFans, but it kind of makes me feel like this guy's a bit of a joker, and I love that. But look, 95% will be like, hey, TikTok, right? Sometimes Instagram. Hopefully, if these videos keep coming and you guys enjoy it, maybe from YouTube. So this person's around 35 to 45. Have they ever default on their home loan? No. They have very good credit score. So I love reading this when I see clients like that. It means I can help them. What is their biggest pain at the moment? They have a lack of deposit. So maybe they need to sell some properties to get equity, or maybe refinance to pull up some equity, which I'll look into later. And the property purchasing process is very confusing. Yes, it's very confusing. A lot of data out there, a lot of jargon out there. And hopefully with videos like this, and also in my channel where I try to demystify the whole buying process and mortgage process, makes it easier for this person. And they lack the knowledge of where to buy, which hopefully through some of my non-advised general information gives them the right direction. I like to see why people book a call with me. Obviously, I am a different beast in the game of the mortgage industry and lending industry. I do things quite the opposite. I don't put my numbers out there on Google and go, hey, call me. I actually don't even disclose it. People have to go through a set of processes to reach me. I sort of see myself as the high fine and dine restaurant rather than the fast food McDonald's where you can just drive through and get what you want. I'm fine and dine, boutique, Michelin restaurant where you have to book to get in touch with me, to get a table, to get reservation, to talk to me. And that's the way I vibe, and they love it. They love the transparency, my work ethics, and my entertaining videos. I don't really beat around the bush, right? I just get straight to the bone, and I seem very holistic. Yes, I am very holistic. I just don't talk about lending and mortgages. I offer solution rather than blog products, which obviously this person recognizes. They've been only following me for a week, 2 months, so okay. A lot of people follow me at least this. Some people like this, like about 60% of them have seen me grow and blow up. And this person has never used a mortgage broker before. Okay, cool. So let's dig into the scenario. So guys, let's head over to my custom home loan dude calculator. Now, mind you, for people who are watching out there and go, hey, Q, is this a bank's calculator? Are you able to show us this? I thought you'll get in trouble because it's an internal document. This has been custom designed by my team. I have a software engineer, Excel engineer in my team, customized this and did in a way where it doesn't look like any bank's calculator. I'm not endorsing any bank, but it's very close to the borrowing power that if you use it, it's very close to the bank's borrowing capacity. And no, I can't disclose this to you. This is my intellectual property. I spent more than a few $1,000s to create this, to make it a replica of the banks. The reason being is I can't put a bank's calculator on social media. I'll get a letter in my email saying I breached confidentiality, breached the NDA. So I've just remade my own one because I really want to demystify how the banks do it. But then it's hard when, the bank's like, oh, well, you can't show this, you can't show this, you can't show this. Well, what can I show? Oh, you got to do your own thing. And a lot of brokers will get stopped there. We're like, hey, I don't want to pay someone to do that and it's too hard and recording, hey, I'm doing that for you guys. I'm here, your mortgage bestie, to show you what I do behind the scenes so you get an idea. Even though you don't want to contact me or contact anybody, you have a rough idea. Okay, that's actually how it works. It's actually not that hard, even though it comes with a lot of experience to use this calculator. It's not just, hey, mortgage broker gets a calculator, boom, you've serviced or you're not serviced. There is a lot of intricacies and complexities that's involved. So don't make my simpleness and simplicity of doing this sort of make you think, oh, it's actually really that simple. I just make it simple. So I want to say one final thing is before I jump into the borrowing capacity calculator that I did is basically, like below, this is absolutely just rough estimates and it's not financial advice. So we have two clients over here. We've got John and Mary. And now obviously John and Mary are not their name. It's just basically alias to describe these people because I don't want to disclose the names. In terms of income, you know, John, the male applicants are earning 85K. Mary, she's making it big, 195K. John's on HEX, Mary's not on HEX. Now, when we do the borrowing capacity calculator, you got to understand that the bank's benchmark, I would say it's 9.5. I use 7.5 because I was playing around with some figures, but it's actually 9.5. What that means is the bank's assessing at a 3% buffer. So you might get a rate of about 6.2 to 6.5. They add another 3% to see whether you can meet this stress test. So I put down 9.5%. And what happens is their living expenses at the moment is about 5,500. I exactly include the living expenses. They have no kids. Oops. Where is it? Sorry. I realize that sometimes you guys can't see what I'm talking about. They have, so living expenses are here. Boom, 5,500. And then they have no kids. And this person has a $40,000 lease, a car loan, not a lease, like a private car loan. And what I've worked out is all they can borrow at the moment is only 1.45 million. So hold that figure in your head. So let's just say we're jumping into my notes and I've written down what their objective is based on this person's scenario. So you have a couple, 0 kids. They currently have a property worth 800K. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know, it's a bit blurry. I don't know. See it? Okay. 800K. And this is shared between the missus, which is, Mary, and the mum. And there's 0 loan on this. These clients are based in New South Wales in Australia. Their second property is worth $1.2 million and it has a 950K loan on it. They currently are renting at $800 a week and they have no savings, all right? Maybe very minimal, like basically maybe like 20K to 30K emergency funds. So their objective, as they said in this scenario over here, is their primary goal is to assess the current borrowing capacity, sell both properties, and their main objective over here, so I move this away, is I think they want to buy another home for their parents. And I'm reading some other notes, which I thought they told me to keep private, is the mum is living in some sort of apartment and the mum's sort of getting old and they want to have a smaller, I guess, townhouse or villa or house possibly to situate the mother. So that's one thing. So basically, second two is then buy a new house where they live in. So obviously they're sick of renting and they want to get a new place over here. So what happens is we know that they can service 1.45. And I don't know how much they want to buy. Like it could be 2 mil, it could be 3 mil. I have to get on the phone and really speak to them, especially in New South Wales. Houses in the West and North Shore area, if they really want to aim for those areas, are pretty expensive. If they live in the Greater Western Sydney, maybe 1.5 and 1.8 can get a top-notch B grade to A grade property, but not in the North Shore or the Inner West. So let's look at let's just move this to my OneNote over here. Okay, so let's just say they sold their 800K property, which the mum or dad lives in. I don't know. I keep saying mum, but I think it's a dad. I don't know. Parents, all folks, sorry. If they sold it, obviously parents would be exempt from CGT. Even if it's half owned by one of the missus, that's fine. They haven't been renting it to her or the mum. So no capital gains tax, 0, save. And then they'll probably pocket 800 Gs. Minus agent fees, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. Let's just say 800 just to be safe. Or simple. And then that's objective number 2. And then number 2 is they're planning to sell the current one, which is about 1.2 mil. And it's worth 950K. So what is the difference? So going to the calculator over here, 1.2 mil minus 950K is around 250K profit. But then you got to minus agent fee. So how much would the agent charge? Well, you know, depending, say it's 2%, 1.2, bloody agent charges 2%. That's about 24 grand, but let's say they took 20 grand. So they only have left 230. But then there is CGT because they have been renting so far. So I believe this is being rented out. So the 6-year rule, which is the capital gains rule, does not apply. They have to pay capital gains tax, and they will have to pay capital gain tax of 50% of this, which works out to be $230,000 times 0.5. So that's $115,000 of extra capital gains to be paid towards their existing tax bracket. And as we learned from over here, they earn around a total of $280,000. So what happens is you get this figure and you add it to the tax bracket of 280. So now their tax bracket is 395K. And obviously the stage 3 tax cut in July, ALBO, all that stuff, it benefits the middle class people, but the people who are over 200G class, which includes me and a lot of my clients who are high net worth, we're getting smashed. So they're going to get taxed at this much. So they need to reserve, just say they had to reserve, I don't know, 40% tax. Okay, so 40% tax of this would be, let's have a look, 395. And guys, I'm not a tax accountant. This is just being really rough general stuff. So you guys could sort of follow along. I'm sure there's like Medicare levy and whether you have private hospital cover, blah, 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 blah. That's just too jargony, right? Just get a bloody rough estimate. So 158, so it's 395 times 40%. That's about 158K of tax. And obviously say your accountant did a really great job and got it down to 100 Gs. Whatever it is, let me move this away. Got it down to 100 Gs. So then you will know, well, how much cash would this person have left? They won't have 230. They'll probably have 130 plus 800K. So in total, this person has, hopefully you can read my bloody notes because I'm just doing this as we speak. Let's have a look here. I don't need a bloody calculator for this, but just for the sake of, you guys who want to follow along, plus 800K, it's 930K of cash. Now, they could borrow 1.45, like clean, right? These are with the majors, right? If they want to go to a non-bank, I probably can get them 1.6 to 1.7, right? At a higher rate, obviously. Everything comes with a price. But say they went with the 1.45, and let me make it clear here, because otherwise you guys don't know the hell I'm doing here. So you got 1.45, right? 145 plus 930, right? 930, 130K. What does that equal to? That equals to 930K plus 145. That's 2.380. Ding, 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 ding. Now, you'll be asking, well, what does this figure mean, click Q? Well, hold on a sec, guys. I'll get to it. Say we took away stamp duty, which I will divide by 1.05%, because that includes the costs of what a property would be without stamp duty, because stamp duty is around 4%, 1% for miscellaneous costs. Just trust me, guys, just use 1.05%, right? After you do this calculation, if you're doing it for your situation, just use 1.05%. I don't really want to go through another video explaining why that is, because it's not information you need. You just got to trust me on that. It works. So you get that divided by 1.05%. Now you get 2.26 something. Let's just say 2.25. So let's go back to the notes over here. This person wants to buy property for their folks. I have the house, villa, townhouse in New South Wales. I don't know how far, maybe Central Coast, and a house for themselves. Is this practical? I don't know. Because their current property is 1.2. Maybe they could get a $1.8 million property if they are reasonable. Let me move this over here. And then with the difference, and I already factor away stamp duty, so don't worry about it. They have enough money to do this. And then the difference would be 1.8 million minus 225. And by the way, when people book the 60-minute call with me, we actually do this live with them, right? I'm just showing you what happens behind the scenes. For whatever reason that you just wanted to know how it works and you want to book the 60-minute call, I don't care. This is how I do it. And then the mum could get a 450k home. I feel like, to be honest, if I'm going to speak to them in like 1 hour's time, I'll be like, hey guys, there's not much option there. Like, you got to buy either a crappy house for your mother, and she was living at an 800k place. Now it's got downsize to a 450. Maybe if you find like a ground floor unit or ground floor, anything that's ground floor will be good for that person, the elderly person. And then you go buy you get the $1.2 million upgrade to the $1.8 million house. But it's not like a major upgrade, unless maybe you want an extra bedroom. Maybe that can compensate that. But if they got on the call and go, hey, I want to buy a $2.5 million property and I want to do yada, 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 maybe it's not going to work out. And I'm assuming the parent is over 60 or 65 or 70. They don't work, they're retired. We can't add that to the income. The other thing about that is you can't claim that property you're renting out to your folks is a rental property and use it as rental income. We kind of can do that, but officially, as I'm talking about it on social media, no, I don't think so. But look, there are strategies. But even with that, you might get an extra $100,000 to $150,000 extra lending. It might work for this client. I'm not too sure. I'm going to speak to them soon in an hour's time. Hopefully you guys get a gist of what's happening here. So there you have it, guys. Behind the scenes of what I'll do for this client. Hopefully I've given you the scenario. Hopefully you're giving me a breakdown of how I work it out or how a mortgage broker work it out. If you were to see a mortgage broker or a banker, or you can just get an idea of how it works when you do approach one or you are about to buy a property. If you have anything that you want to ask for or you want me to do something similar to you for your tailored solution, jump into my website, which is www.homeloans.com.au. It'll go to here. And yes, I use Canva because I am not very tech savvy with building websites. And then you go to here and basically go book a call with me to work out your borrowing capacity. Again, guys, when you book a call with me, you can choose between a 15-minute call or a 60-minute call deep dive. This is when there's no queue. I call you straight away in the next 48 hours, and then we work out what we can do for you. And hopefully you have gained enough insight and clarity in terms of this situation and how that will apply to your situation. Maybe in the future, maybe you have aging parents who are doing the same thing, or maybe you have a friend or colleague or family member that's going through this. Click on this video. At least they have a bit of context of what's happening. Maybe they can go through their own numbers. And again, guys, if you have any questions, jump in the comment section below and type in your questions, or you can email me, go to my bar link. I'm happy to answer some questions if they're very brief. But if you do want to speak more in depth, I do encourage you to book a call. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, I guess. Like, share, comment, whatever. See ya.